Hansworm hat.
Oh, it's this guy. I finally found out what his name is. It's Hans Wormhat. I always thought he was just talking gibberish, but it turns out it was actually nonsense. The more you know, etc., etc. Anyway, what do you want? As if you were the one who came to me to get some sick branded sarcastic commentary. I mean, why would you? It's awful. Only a very silly and yet handsome and potentially good at the sex person would possibly like my content. Right, let's get to it.
This is a video about flat earth mocking and how
it's hilarious?
Especially today, mocking flat earth is so popular because more people are talking about flat earth.
Something absurd gets mocked more when more people know/believe in it. Well, that is an astute observation. Well done, Hans. You get a gold star and a cookie.
More people are waking up to it, and they can tell that they're losing.
Losing? Losing what? Our minds because of the amazingly awful arguments? Our proverbial poop due to the hilariously horrible hyperbole. Our temper due to this extremely exasperating exchange. No, I didn't mean to alliterate any of those. It just kind of happened. Leave me alone. I'm going through some stuff. What happened again?
The magic of the ball earth. And they got to do damage control. They've been overtime mocking flat earth, but
mocking flat earthers is not damage control. It's fun. The thing about doing damage control is generally you have something to hide or you're really, really wrong. Unfortunately for you, that's not the case. It's just so fun to hear your little ideas and then point out every little tiny thing that's wrong with them and then make some sort of reference to male genitalia. Repeat until satisfied. It's what keeps me going. Penis joke.
The way that Satan always ends up undoing himself.
The way that Satan always ends up undoing himself. Was it just me, or did I hear the sound of a zipper going down then? Terrifying.
It's obvious now. There's way too much stuff there. Way too many people screaming about how dumb flat earthers are.
Okay, I got to address the text you've shown here. Aside from it being almost entirely irrelevant to what you're saying, apart from it having the words flat earthers in it, I guess, you put it here, so I'm gonna have to address it. Anyone who thinks that this is a good point is dumber than they seem to think everyone else is. You can prove a flat earther categorically wrong, but I'm sorry, you cannot prove a religious person wrong, at least not in terms of the claims of a supernatural being. You can only argue against the logic, saying that it doesn't follow and that things don't make sense. But you can't prove anything in regards to that. As a matter of fact, at least for now, unless you've been hiding a beyond time and space god detector from us. Have you?
And, okay, if I bring this up all the time because I get a lot of hate for the things that I say, obviously.
Obviously. The things you say are... What's a kind way to say... They sound like the ramblings of a drunk toddler that fell down 2 flights of stairs and landed in a vat of concentrated dumb. I'll go with a bit silly.
The thing that I bring up to people all the time, if what you're saying is true, that I'm crazy and I need to go take crazy pills, etc., 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 why are you spending so much time invested coming at me and yelling at me and screaming at me, calling me mean things?
I don't think I've yelled at you once. Today, at least. Can't account for any other times. I was probably drunk. And crazy? No, I don't think the vast majority of all kinds of woo peddlers and pseudoscience lovers are crazy. I think they are hella dumb, or if you want to be really, really generous, misinformed. As I do believe even the smartest mofo on earth can be wrong if the only information that they have access to is incorrect. However, the issue there is you do have access to all the information. The problem is you choose to ignore a lot of it or can't understand it. Although there is another option, dishonesty. And I'm not saying that as in you aren't really a flat earther. I do think you really believe it. But that you're using dishonesty to try and protect your ideas despite what everything is telling you. Lying to yourself is still lying.
If you see some schizo on the side of the street blabbing nonsense, you don't go up to him and talk to him and say, you need help, you need to go take meds.
Well, no, I don't think you are necessarily mentally ill. I mean, you might be, and it's certainly a reason to believe completely untrue things, but I doubt the vast majority of people automatically make that assumption. It's pretty extreme conclusion to jump to when ignorance and lack of intelligence are right there, waving suggestively to me.
So the reason that people come at you and mock you and tell you, you need to go take meds, you need to go take meds, you need to go to a psychiatrist, I hope you never have children.
God damn, that's a bit harsh, especially the children part. I mean, who are my kids supposed to refute when we are both old men with big white beards shouting incoherently at each other if you don't have any kids? But seriously, if you are one of the people who says things like that to him instead of either making silly jokes like me or actually demonstrating how and where he's wrong, you really need to knock that off, because it makes you sound like the real moron in the room when all you can do is go for personal attacks with nothing to back it up. Because my assumption with anyone, if you can't argue the points, then you have no idea what's being talked about and you need to go sit in the corner. Yeah, that's right. If all you have is insults, I think Hans is smarter than you. Think about that next time you say something stupid and nasty to him or his friends.
They're just trying to shame you. And they don't really believe those things. Just the example I gave. Do you think that the type of person that comes up to you and screams at you because of your beliefs, that you need help, etc., 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 do you think that they really believe that way? Or do you think that they're just coming from a place of anger? And I think it makes it really obvious.
Yes, absolutely. I think there are a lot of, in fact, far too many people who are angry about things like flat earth. I mean, medical woo, anti-vaxxers, claims of miracles that make people not go to the doctors. Fill your boots. That is something to get angry over. But these guys, if it's getting you legit angry, I just don't get it. I mean, it can be frustrating trying to decipher their ideas and thought patterns if you're trying to understand them, but you know you don't have to interact with them. And while I am a strong proponent for taking people to task for bad and just plain wrong ideas in an effort to stem the tide of misinformation, getting actually angry about it, well, it's not going to help you do anything other than raise your blood pressure and make them think that you're rattled because blah blah blah, I'm correct. What you got to realise is most people aren't wrong on purpose.
That these people don't really feel that way. They're just mocking you and trying to shame you into not trusting your instinct, believing what is right in front of you.
You shouldn't trust your instinct. Your instinct tells you really, really dumb things like there are literal monsters in dark corners. Your instinct's best guess on most things is either wrong or right by accident. What you should be using is your intellect by collecting and analysing data, because data doesn't lie. Unlike me and my massive cock.
More popular than ever, bashing flat earth.
Because it's fun.
Their talking points are so stupid as well.
This ought to be good.
Look at that banana. God made it with a peel for us so it would stay fresh longer and be easy to open. And then they go on to say about how bananas were bred that way by humans, which, yeah, that's true, but...
Wait, what? That's a debunked creationist argument. One that we may or may not be having some fun with for Christmas or New Year's. Watch out for that. So why on earth are you bringing it up? I mean, what does it even have to do with the flat earth? The banana argument is a refutation of evolution, as it is the perfectly designed fruit of God, etc., etc. But of course, that's completely irrelevant either way to the flat earth. Evolution would work on a flat earth. Creationism would work on a flat earth. The shape of the planet wouldn't really affect things either way. I feel like you're just taking a comment completely out of context. If this is on a video about the flat earth exclusively from someone who has never made the banana argument, then maybe? But I seriously doubt anyone would be that dumb. Who am I kidding? I'm talking to you, aren't I?
Either this person doesn't understand, or they're just a shill. The concept of leading the opposition.
Dude, wait. Are you actually making this on your phone? With like a series of screen caps from your gallery, I take it. Okay, I have to give you credit here. That is some next level laziness. And that's coming from me. I know.
This is just one of the biggest thing. They play both sides. They lead the opposition. They love to lead the opposition with the most insane people. They're playing the fool.
I would accuse you of strawmanning people, but I'm not sure you're actually saying anything at all. That was just yammering with no substance. If you have something in the form of an accusation, make it. Don't just say, ooh, they totally do this thing I'm vaguely alluding to. It's annoying.
I mean, they have the spotlight. If you just follow any movement, like flat earth movement or anything like that, it makes it so obvious that people are just illuminated into positions.
Ugh, what is this, spirit science? Look, man, I came here for flat earth. If I wanted waffle, I would go to wafflesbypost.com and wait under the mail flap.
Patricia Steer is ridiculous. That's why they got pushed into the spotlight. It's not like they had anything interesting to say. What do these shills do? They spend hours and hours drinking alcohol and blabbing and making drama about nothing. None of those people did anything interesting.
Don't you disparage drinking. Without it, I would barely be able to sit through 30 seconds of this trite garbage. With it, you are almost tolerable. I'm pretty sure it's literally the only way you are ever going to be able to have any of those real-life friends I've heard so much about.
They were just leading the opposition, and some of them have written in their scripts to do absurd things that discredit the movement.
Yeah, he's right. Lead the opposition and do something ridiculous. I'm not going to drink this whiskey. How absurd.
They're playing the parts, they're playing the fool.
And ain't nobody stealing your job. What else you gonna do? It's the only thing you're good at.
So this is something that gets brought up all the time. Oh, their arguments are so bad. Well, stop listening to the crazy one.
Okay, well, give me a good one then. I mean, according to other people, your arguments are the crazy and bad ones. But according to you, other people are the crazy bad ones. It's almost like there's no consensus among you all, and if the earth was so flat, you might be able to point at something solid you can all agree on.
The crazy ones. The ones that are obviously put there to be crazy.
Everyone else is a liar but me, right? That is top tier brainerizing. And if these arguments are so bad, fake, crazy, but apparently coming from your side, put there or no, then you gotta go after them. It's your job to present the strongest case you can and demonstrate the ideas that you have that do actually work. Unless, of course, there aren't any. And this whole, these ideas are wrong and put there by someone else spiel is just a ruse so that when someone stomps all over one of these arguments, you could pretend to be above it all and everyone else, 'cause you the singular smartest sapien. God damn it, it happened again! Do you want pretty okay clothes at fairly alright prices? Then head on over to Sir Six Merch Store. There you can buy sick brand merch and not a lot else. Who needs food, water or accommodation when you can have a hoodie with my face on it? No one, that's who. I can't even afford them because I have a home, like a moron. So get on over today before these printed to order clothes run out somehow. And you're gonna need a lot of them when you're sleeping outside on the ground with your family like that. It's cold out there. I do envy you.